get those sweet YouTube views.
All right, so Shnerdcast, episode 18, almost there to 20.
Getting old.
I know, right?
Yeah, we can almost buy liquor now, dude.
It's crazy because it's almost been a year for like a whole. It's gonna be a year in November, I think, for a full. Yeah.
Fucking tight.
Yeah.
Although if we were doing it weekly, we definitely would have a lot more episodes.
Yeah.
But then again,
yeah, the conflicting
schedules,
schedules,
yeah.
and people doing all this stuff, and
it'd be like that sometimes, man.
Definitely. So the Shnerdcast, I'm here with Cameron, back at the cam pad, the bachelor pad, just kicking it.
Yep. Y'all already know what it is.
This full fucking. How's your new job? I think last time you didn't really have a good grasp on it. I think you just got hired.
Correct. Yeah, that's right, actually. Because we missed pretty much my training weeks. We didn't do a podcast there. We didn't really dive into that shit.
No.
But it's dude, it's kind of okay, but at the same time, I don't want to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you.
The thing is it's still tech support, right?
Yeah.
So because it's tech support and a call center, it has all of those qualifications for a whack dead end job.
Oh yeah, it just
pays okay, but
as long as it pays good, but it's still, I know what you mean. It's one of those things where it's just you're not gonna go anywhere with it.
No,
this is it.
Not unless I'm trying to be a fucking manager at a place like that. Sure, $25 an hour is okay. But not when I can get into the IT field and make 30.
Yeah.
So
there you go, man. Go for it. Keep on going for it. Just
absolutely
keep on trying, man. Fucking. I mean, I don't know if Dan still does anything. If you talk to him or anything, but maybe he might be able to give you some leads or something. And then this weekend, be going to my sister's wedding, which is gonna be crazy.
Congratulations.
Yeah, my sister.
I know she watches.
Yeah.
She definitely listens. Congratulations.
She's about to get hitched, about to get the old knot tied and everything.
Was that you were about to say ball and chain?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, low key, kind of.
That's funny because I was watching the King of the Hill and they were talking some bachelor party thing, and each bachelor party for Hank Hill, Boomhauer, and Dale, when they all were like, "Oh, can you grab me a beer?" and each person that got up. Each bachelor party who was bachelor, there was a ball and chain. And we're like, oh, it was the same joke every time, and they all laughed. That show is so stupid. I just binged the whole thing. It was
actually funny, though.
So I'm really loving King of the Hill right now. But, today we'll be talking about some Taletell games, about how they're hopefully might make a comeback. Some weird rumors going around with Konami.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's I'm curious to see where they're gonna go.
It could be exciting news, man.
Yeah.
It really could be. And
some Digimon news, which has been a while. If you live in America, if you've gotten some real Digimon news.
Man, as a pure fan of Digimon, being a real fan, back in the day as a kid,
mm-hmm.
Dude, your boy had the Digivice and the Digimon equivalent of the Pokedex.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what it's called, but I had that shit.
Dude.
Terminex or some shit? Not the fucking what you call it, but
I never really got into it, but I just remember that one Digivolve game for the PlayStation 1. That one was fucking...
Yeah, those ones were good. Now, see, if we had something like that, that would be fucking sick. Especially if they threw it on the Switch. Oh, I'd risk my fucking job to play that shit.
Dude, for real. If they remade... That would be something for a good thing to remake. Then we'll also be talking about some random Netflix shows and some weird awkward moments at work. So I wanted to start it off with the Taletell games just to kind of get this out of the way. I don't know if you're really familiar. Are you familiar with any of their games? Have you played any of their stuff?
I was actually about to say not really. It's just that the name Taletell Games doesn't stick out enough. I may have played some of their games.
It's pretty much a novel guide through game.
They're the ones that made the
they got really popular with the Walking Dead. Yeah, that's what made them popular.
I actually remember playing that. This was back when Xbox Live was doing their free game giveaway when you have gold.
Yeah, they still do that. Everything does that now, which is good.
That's actually.
I think Xbox started it.
Oh, they definitely started it. I don't remember that shit being on PlayStation.
No. So
Microsoft was the first one to be like,
it's like
hey,
nobody's
give that
buying
shit
this
away.
old ass game here.
Yeah, it's like maybe they bought the rights to the game and was like, hey, we're just gonna give your shit away for free, guys. Y'all mind? Like, we'll pay you extra, I guess. You know.
I don't know how it works, but fucking they did it. But with the Telltales, so you never really played anything or delved into, so.
No, other than the Walking Dead game, which I played about 5 to 10 minutes of, and I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, because I noticed a lot of people really couldn't get into it. I know Will and Josh were ones who really. Josh, I think he never really played them either, but Will definitely. I tried to get him into those games. He wasn't feeling it, which I could see why a lot of people. It's like.
Will is too far active in a game. I've never played anything with him where he didn't want to just truck somebody. Like, even if it's us playing against him, he's trying to truck us, dude.
Yeah, he's very competitive. Yeah. That's what's fun playing with him, though. He's always going all out.
Plug alert. Your boy is going to be streaming on Twitch a lot more. If you're in California, we're talking around 6 p.m. and after.
All right.
Your boy's going to be in there. Yep, hit me up. Apollo Pie, yeet. Okay, we'll get more into that later.
You gotta send me a link or something so I can put it in the description.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, you click that shit, hit the follow button. Your boy be playing Minecraft sometimes.
So getting back to the Telltale games, so the ones that I was talking about was The Walking Dead, and that's the one that made it really popular. But then I think after season 1, they started branching out and they made one called The Wolf Among Us.
I actually remember seeing trailers for that, but because I didn't like the narrative style, I didn't play it.
Which, like I said, I don't blame you. Like, a lot of people can't get into that kind of gaming. It's like you might as well just read a comic. You know what I mean? But
Facts.
Yeah, it's literally just like because you just push A. There's no like ever real struggle.
Like the whole game is quick time events.
Exactly.
Nobody really wants to do that.
But with The Wolf Among Us, I think they really got really detailed with that one because their games are usually like you start off as like a good person, let's say, and then you can do this and it'll affect the whole storyline. So you have a food and you have 2 friends. You can only give it to one of them. You give it to that person, it's going to affect the way he feels about you the whole time, the whole storyline.
Right.
Like, and then they'll bring it up, and sometimes it doesn't matter, and sometimes it's like little minute, and it's just like
I guess like your first playthrough, you're not gonna know
exactly.
So okay, so that's kind of exciting.
There's some things that like they really do stick to the whole thing, and there's ways to with The Walking Dead. There's ways to save a bunch of characters in like so many different ways, and what's cool is at the end of the game or like episode because they usually branch them into different episodes. I already got the hiccups.
Yeah, dude. It's all that bubbly.
I got you. I feel you. So what's cool about that also is at the very end of each episode, all the choices that you did, they'll show you in real time, like depending on when you buy it. So if you first buy it for like and you played it like the third day it just came out, you'll see all the choices that people chose. So it'll be like, oh, you and this percentage chose this and this percentage chose that way, and then the newer ones, they're like you can push X and refresh. So if you got at a certain time, you could be like, oh, people are playing it right now. I know that for sure. So I'm wondering what they did. And so that was pretty cool what they did.
Catherine actually had a dynamic like that.
Oh yeah, that game, yeah. That game, like that one was hard for me to get into, but I think
I like that one.
Yeah,
it's a brain teaser. So
those ones are hard. Yeah, I couldn't really get into, but it was a brain teaser thing. But I was younger too.
Yeah, I think I started playing that when we were like 19 at the time.
Yeah, I think that's when it came out for the 360.
That's when I was playing that bitch. I was going.
Yeah, dude, that's still like one of this day, like one of the best games.
Oh, they're actually coming out with another one.
Really?
Yeah, it's the same game, but just like a different version.
Haven't they been rumoring that for a while though? Or
yeah, no, you're right, dude. It's been out there in the ether for a hot minute. The game hasn't been released.
Yeah.
But eventually, dude, we'll get it. We'll get it, guys.
Yeah. So Telltale Games started to branch out, and when they started doing that, they started getting a lot of licenses and a lot of names because they ended up getting like obviously The Walking Dead. They got Batman, Minecraft.
Wait, Telltale Games got what? Hold on, back up.
Yeah, they made a story. Remember there was like Minecraft the story?
Oh,
that was them.
They did that?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And then same with the Borderlands one.
I didn't even know they had a Borderlands one. They probably shouldn't have touched that one.
They had 2 seasons of that, so that one got kind of popular. The Minecraft one got really popular, but they never went anywhere with it. They also had
for obvious reasons why that one got popular.
Game of Thrones. Dude. They did one with Game of Thrones, and they also did one with Back to the Future and Guardians of the Galaxy. And there's a ton. There's a bunch more they have, but I think that's where they kind of messed up because they got all these rights, and they never really went anywhere. Besides Walking Dead, they never really went anywhere with any of them. Maybe Borderlands. But
it is understandable, but at the same time, it's like the gameplay aspect. You know, just the gameplay alone being that weird narrative action.
Yeah. Well,
quick time event.
The thing with that though is some of those like Minecraft for sure. I'm not too sure Walking Dead. I think after a while it kind of like lingered off. The Minecraft one gained a lot of attention, especially with the younger crowd, because that's when Minecraft was literally like at the fucking peak, where it was like Minecraft everywhere.
Yeah,
kind of how like Fortnite is now, but like
Fortnite's garbage.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's not, but like maybe we can talk about that on another podcast.
We could actually bring it up a little later. I want to talk about it maybe a little bit because I do want to bring something up with the Borderlands thing, but the whole reason I brought this up is because they were failing. They were going to fucking go under, pretty much sell the company. They're either going to liquidate the company or sell it. And luckily somebody bought it. And the company is called LCG Entertainment. And I actually did a little bit of research because I actually do like Taletell games. But I couldn't find anything besides they're a private gaming company based in Malibu, California.
What was the name of the company again?
LCG Entertainment.
LCG Entertainment.
Yeah, and that's what I looked into it. It said it was a private held company in Malibu, and the only news that I found out that I could see is they bought Taletell Games.
Okay, I've never heard of that company before.
Me neither. That's why I was like looking into it. I looked up what the games they bought. And I looked into it. I don't know if this was true, but it said it's like newly privately owned by veteran graphic designers, pretty much like veteran gamers. You know what I mean? Veteran game designers, I should say.
Okay, so basically and it's kind of fucked up to say, but I'm gonna say it. It's like the rejects of other gaming companies that were like, okay, fuck you, you guys don't want to use my idea, I'm out of here. So they like all band together and was like, let's go in, man.
Or it could be like those people that just fucking got snubbed out and they just got the unfair roll of the dice and got fucking, budget cuts. Boom, you're one of the ones. You didn't meet the quota that last game or whatever. You didn't do this or you made us delay. Even though you've been here for 30 years, sorry, bye.
Dude, it'd be wild if a lot of them came from EA.
I wouldn't doubt it from a bunch of companies. Yeah. Veteran game designers is a very broad term because, what's for a game designer, what's considered veteran? You know what I mean?
Very good point.
So, I'm really. A lot of people are hoping they can make a comeback with the Batman series because that one gained a lot of traction. The Wolf Among Us. And maybe just a couple of other series that can just kind of keep on going. Because they really did focus on just The Walking Dead. And they just released the last one that I think, just came out, I think, like a few months ago. And that's pretty much the climax of that Walking Dead series that pretty much started the whole thing.
I mean, that's fair, dude.
So, yeah, we'll have to see of what they can do if there's any way of them making a comeback.
Possibly. The way I think about it, right? If they were bought out by a quote-unquote veteran team...
That's like a loosely based term. Like, that's just...
Very loose.
Yeah, I looked it up, so we don't know if that's fact or fake.
Even if it was fact, they could be like trash developers. Mm-hmm. But they've just been doing it so long that they're considered veteran, right? Because anybody that's good at anything doesn't get released or leaves their company.
Yeah.
Maybe, but that's just being pessimistic.
Changes, man. Changes in the
gaming hemisphere.
Like on the top of the food chain, man. That shit changes, and everybody.
Which is why I brought up.
People just get funneled out, sadly.
That's why I brought up the EA thing.
Yeah.
Because after Anthem or even during Anthem, a lot of people left during the development because there wasn't clear direction during the game's development being built. You
remember sister's boyfriend?
Yeah.
Her ex-boyfriend that you met how long ago? He worked for EA. And fucking...
This motherfucker was designing Fire, apparently.
He was like one of the fire engineers or whatever, like making fire and like
That's
the
pretty
explosions
tight,
and everything. He's making good money, but apparently this fool went from making like $89 an hour to like $120 an hour because he went to Blizzard.
I am proud of that fucking guy.
This fool's living in fucking Irvine.
Yeah, that's their headquarters.
Yeah. To Irvine.
Like
Irvine.
God, I would love to work for Blizzard, but that's only because they had Destiny on their contract.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck them now. Come October, I'm not even gonna have the Blizzard client on my PC no more. Yeah, dude, because
let's go for it, bro.
dude, they're going to Steam. It's just going free to play in October.
Isn't it already free to play?
It was for a short time because Blizzard gave it away, which was cool. There was a slight boom there. Like I remember seeing like, so here's the terminology for like Destiny players. So if somebody is a kindergarten, that means like they've been there since day one. Yeah. Even though you don't play anymore, you're a kindergarten, dog. You've been there. You saw the dumb shit that we did in the past, right?
Gotcha.
So like now you see these new kindergartens, like they just started, and you can clearly fucking tell some of these players have no idea what they were doing.
Yeah.
At least at the time it went free.
Yeah.
So come October 1st when the game goes free again, there's gonna be a few months of just brand new kindergartens just fucking hopping up into the game. Yeah, and it's cool because Bungie finally had enough money and enough power to take their IP and be like, this is mine. I'm gonna do what I want with it.
Yeah.
Which is so sick, dude.
Nice.
Yeah. Plus, you ever look at like
Destiny
Bungie's
fanboy
history?
here.
I'm more of a Bungie like fanboy, honestly, because
they made the original 3 Halos, so, and ODST, and possibly Reach. 343 might have made that, but I'm pretty sure it was.
I think Reach was 343, and then Reach is at that point where Halo started getting whack.
It was Halo 4 for sure when the 343 took over.
Yeah, and I honestly didn't like it at that point, but like regardless, you know, Bungie has like developed so many really good games in their past.
Microsoft, dude.
They're my fucking favorite developer, dude.
Yeah, they're fucking beasts.
Hands down.
Changed my whole life when it comes to gaming, honestly.
Because nothing has ever topped Halo's like.
I'll never forget playing Halo for the first time, dude. I'm like, what is this? And then
Same.
it was my brother's birthday, and I convinced my mom to buy him an Xbox because I wanted it. Which turned out to be fine because my brother had his friends over all the time playing Halo and shit. And
that's fucking tight, dude.
And I remember Mr. Shepard in 6th grade, the music teacher.
Low key, kinda.
You never took band, huh?
Not in 6th grade. I took band. We were at Mitchell.
When we were in 6th grade, I took band, and
okay, word.
He at the end of there was like points in time where he'd bring the Xbox, and I remember all the kids went on a field trip, and then the kids who didn't went on a field trip. Funny, Keith was there, and he didn't go on the field trip, but it was like me, Keith.
Yeah. Yo, okay. My favorite memories of playing anything is actually with. So this was back when. All right, well, we're going on tangent, but you got to keep this stuff.
Yeah, I will.
So the first time I ever really touched like competitive PvP games, right, was when I was playing with Sonny. This is back when we lived in Mather, and at this time we were hella young. So in our little cul-de-sac, our little neighborhood, we all ran around as like the only kids out there because we all just moved and no one had time to have kids to do shit yet, right?
And you guys also pretty much knew each other probably.
Yeah, right? So we were the fucking Mather mob, son.
We're the first generation.
So like we would go to his house and fucking kick it, and I ruined his like entire life. I got him high for the first time.
I mean,
now, like,
if anything.
I mean, maybe I made it better. Shit,
I know, right?
He's probably making more money than us combined, dog.
For real, probably.
But the first time I ever played any video game was with, and this is back when original Xbox. I'm talking big ass cinder block, fucking yeah,
straight up dad hand controllers, bro. Fucking basketball player controllers, dude. I swear to God.
It was also the first time I ever come in contact with cheating. He had. So, mind you, like, I need to put a lot of this shit into perspective for, like, the viewer and the listeners. And I know if he ever heard it, he wouldn't be upset because, like, he's really about that action.
Yeah.
I know for a fact his mom never paid for internet.
So this fool was like, they're like stealing.
He was that smart and that good at that age that he was stealing Wi-Fi from somebody else, dude.
Nice.
And this shit was fucking wild. Because he was also like developing his own makeshift lag switches. And when he would, yeah,
damn,
seriously. So like when we were that young, he was developing lag switches, and he was like learning how to basically DDoS people and kick people from their own server. And I was just playing around and shit, like I was just killing people. And I looked over, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, just keep playing, keep him busy." And I'm like, I bet. And then he just busts out laughing, and this is when I think the first time I ever really got high with him.
Yeah.
Because he's like laughing and just rolling on the ground, and I don't understand what he's doing. And he explains it to me like, "I just kicked this motherfucker from his own server." And I was
this
like,
fool.
What the fuck?
I feel like that's something he would hella do too. Like,
oh yeah, 100%. He had like a modded Xbox before mods were like popular, so he had games that like you weren't supposed to just have, and they were all on the hard drive. So
too bad they learned how to fix that. They're like, oh, if you have a free game, you just can't play online.
Yeah, but like still at the same like point. Like if he continued down the path that he was on without me getting him high,
he'd be like
he would 100% be like an engineer or a developer because he understood a lot of that shit.
What if you just stopped this fool from like inventing the next step of space travel or some shit?
I mean, I'd feel bad, but like I know he's out there probably getting mad pussy and dipping in shit. So like
he's using that space technology to get pussy and weed.
Dude, he's using space brain to get laid.
Space brain, galaxy brain.
He's got the galaxy brain like, "What's up, baby girl?"
Fucking beyond fucking space, bro. Fucking.
So in short, yeah, Halo was fucking tight.
I know, yeah, right? Halo fucking changed our lives, bro. Changed the whole generation's life, I swear.
That's such a good segment. If you were gonna make a clip, that's a clip you would make.
Yeah, one of the rants. It got to. But I wanted to bring up the Konami situation.
Oh, dude. So I've been out of the loop because of work. So you're my news source, dog. What's going on with Konami?
So I just heard rumors. I was just seeing on the internet and looked it up. It's just rumors that Konami might try to continue with Silent Hill. These are just rumors because I saw a video that were saying like, "Oh, Silent Hill with Konami, clickbait title. Click on it. Read the comments. People are saying this has nothing to do with it. I watched the video.
Rumor.
Yeah, like they literally like spent 5 minutes talking about it. But I look into it.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. You don't want to clickbait out there.
Yeah,
clickbait.
They did. People were saying they did make Metal Gear 5 without Kojima, or like the not 5, the newer one, Survive or whatever.
Oh, see, real Kojima, not Konami, but Kojima fans don't respect that game.
Something like that.
Yeah, Hideko Kojima.
I actually just I didn't want. I'm not a huge Metal Gear fan. But I am. If you watch the other episode, he uses that voice so many times, even for Goku.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes you're gonna call Otacon and be like, "Otacon, I can't open my beer. What do I do?" And just like.
You need to have someone on the other end to be able to do that.
I've never met anybody that like wants to impersonate Otacon. So like,
see, I barely know who that is.
Otacon's your glasses fucking guy.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, when he hops on the yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking Otacon or Colonel comes on, but like, Colonel's an asshole. Like, fuck Colonel. Dude. He never helps, dude. He's just like, look on the back of the package, Snake.
You fucking idiot.
Wait, no, that's Snake again. Hold on.
I know what you're talking about. You gotta look at the back of the.
Yeah, for Meryl's Codex number. Yeah, dude.
Jeez, what a fucking brain twister.
Like, even looking back at that now, like, that shows you Kojima's genius.
Yeah.
Because, like, that should have came out on the PlayStation 1, right? So
that would have been crazy.
Right. So to have mechanics that, or not even mechanics, but mechanics with Psycho Mantis, but To have a
was tight
dialogue.
too.
Yeah, dude, to have a dialogue that would be like, yo, you actually need to look at the thing because the game is that self-aware. If you don't look at it, you won't know.
Yeah.
So he even took like the game's packaging into perspective. So that's
So
just wild.
for people who don't know, the Psycho Mantis thing with Metal Gear for GameCube, if you played other games, was it GameCube and PlayStation?
It was both.
Was it both?
I think they actually changed the dialogue when they remastered the game.
Yeah, well, they had to for the GameCube.
Because it would tell you what you had on the memory card before you fought.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was the most craziest thing.
He's like, you play a lot of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, those were
You're like, what the fuck?
So look up like Psycho Mantis Metal Gear memory card, and I'm sure you'll get a bunch of...
Or just any Psycho Mantis fight in general, because it even did that in Metal Gear 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It wasn't really Psycho Mantis. So even
it was like an Easter egg or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing with Metal Gear 4, for you and a lot of people that haven't played it that are listening, every single boss encounter was more of a callback to other bosses.
Okay.
But they weren't actually the boss. So in the Metal Gear 4 timeline, mind you, you're playing old Snake. This is the end of Snake's life because Fox Die is making him really old. Fox Die has some other shit to
I think I remember that. That was a huge thing.
Yeah, it's a lot to go into.
Isn't that the one where they released the demo, but it was like...
You talking about the game?
Was that the one where they released the game, but it was just a little 30-minute...
Oh, no. Okay, that was... it was Ghost something, but Metal Gear 4 never had a demo from what I can remember. It was released on PS3. It had nothing to do with that one game that just came out that was using the MGS5 engine.
Yeah.
That's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, but I was just going to say it's funny is if this ever gets popular and we just get a bunch of comments, this channel is going to be the one that's they always praise Kojima, they're always,
because he's a goddamn lord.
They always talk so good about Kojima. What's so great about, you know what I mean?
Yo, I look forward to that because you catch my ass in the comments I bet fucking Kojima pioneered this shit. You want to battle, nigga? Let's go. Well, I'm still kind of talking about the bosses in Metal Gear 4 and how that timeline is so different. Because during the Metal Gear 4 timeline, a lot of the bosses that you fight in 2 and I guess kind of 3, but Snake Eater is also in its weird this is 1980s fucking shit, right?
Oh yeah.
But
that's the one. And you know what's crazy is I'm pretty sure a bunch of people always know about this, but I didn't know that when you fight the old man and if you change the date on your PSP or PS2 or whatever, he'll die of old age.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that, but I didn't play through Metal Gear 3.
The only reason I figured it out because I watched Easter eggs, top 10 Easter eggs.
That shit's still wild, you know?
Right? I'm pretty sure that blew my mind, bro.
That's again, that right there is one of those things that it just shows you how brilliant Kojima was as a developer.
Yeah.
To take into account that the hardware that he's making the game for has an internal clock that will translate to the game you're playing. That amount of ingenuity is actually unbelievable. He might not be human.
Yeah.
There's no other game that does shit like that. Yeah, the bosses in Metal Gear 4 weren't actually the original bosses, but they were callbacks, almost like clones.
Yeah.
Because that's actually what they were meant. They were really hot female fighters that were the clones of their counterpart. So there was this whole Psycho Mantis fight where it would do the same exact thing, and you'd have to turn off one of your PS3 controllers
and then plug it into the second controller.
No, turn another one on. So you actually had to go into the console menu and turn off the controller and reconnect to player 2.
I remember that.
And that shit was wild, so because it's such a callback to the original style,
Yeah.
Wild shit.
So I don't know how much heavily influenced Kojima actually had on Silent Hill, but he would have had a huge influence on PT, obviously. I mean, that's probably one of the most... If you said Silent Hill to anybody...
They know PT.
Yeah. They're not going to say Silent Hill 2. They're not going to say the original one.
See, that's so prolific because I'm not a Silent Hill fan, hardcore, right? But even I know what PT is. And if anybody has a system that actually has the original game on it, their system's probably worth a lot of money to people that want to buy something like that. So
it's history, dude.
Yeah,
that's history.
It really is.
I wanted to bring up one thing too. For the fighters we brought up last time.
DBZ Fighters.
Or Project. No, DBZ Project Z or Dragon Ball Project Z.
Oh, you mean the one where they're trying to make a low-key narrative game for Goku?
Yeah.
Tight.
So, because we barely talked about it, I don't know if you know, because you're saying it was like a legacy of Goku, and I didn't really explain it well.
Yeah, on the Game Boy.
But it's more of like
Advance, anyway.
It's more of like it's not like top down or anything. It's like Breath of the Wild, but you can fly. It's like a whole world.
I would 100% respect a game like that, especially if they take the kind of free roam approach to it, because maybe there would be like
it is like the whole. It's just like that, but like free roam, like you can fly around. There's in the trailers you show Goku flying around, and it's like it shows like a little like Bulma talking like hey, if you fly down here, there's some minerals or like some herbs you could pick up, and so
I'm gonna have to look this up actually.
Yeah. I mean, because I remember you were talking. When I was editing the last episode, I was like, "Damn, I barely went into like the details or anything. Like, I did a shit job explaining it."
I mean,
it is. Fair. It's like I said, Breath of the Wild, like that kind of like sandboxy open world. The fighting is still kind of questionable. I don't know how it's like if it because when you go, I don't know if like it's like.
Does it change to like 2D?
No. It never changes.
Okay, so it doesn't do this weird like.
But the fighting
here's
will
your
be
health
like,
bar, and here's your opponent's health bar.
Kind of, but you know, Xenoverse. You know how it's like.
I know of it.
It'll be like X,
kind of
Y, like combo person buttons, and you hold like left trigger, and it'll bring up like an ABX. All do their own little.
Yeah.
So it's like that.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it. It's like Xenoverse but open world. And one thing, it's funny because I watched something about it, and I can't believe I forgot to bring it up last time, was you could fucking get your license in that game. Your driving license. Like in the anime, when Piccolo and Goku get their driver's license in the filler, you can get your fucking driver's license in that game.
That's actually interesting.
Dude,
because, like,
so
why
awesome.
the fuck would Goku even need a driver's license? Maybe Gohan.
Or Piccolo.
Even Piccolo, right. Because, like, Gohan maybe, because he tried to go, like, the weird dad route, right? And the same thing with Krillin.
He wanted to be a scholar.
Yeah, so, like, maybe he was like, Dad, I want to throw the fighting lifestyle away.
And then the Cell games fucking shocked Krillin. He's like, I can't keep up with these fucks.
Then he became a true father and was like...
I'm about to bang this android. And
which is wild. So correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the android actually have a real kid?
Yeah. So pretty much what she had all her
lady parts,
her reproductive, like all their organ systems. It's just her body was modified. Everything could just take more damage.
Okay.
But I don't think she had a regular skeleton. Like she was probably, I'm pretty sure her skeleton was like modified.
Wait a second. Okay.
So she had an exoskeleton inside her skeleton.
Sparks a lot of debate. So the reason why I say that is because there's a huge difference between a cyborg and an android, right? An android is absolutely synthetic. A cyborg is a human synthetic, right? Like
I think this is because you gotta also remember this was like early 80s, like early 90s, like late 80s, early 90s. So I'm pretty sure, and also the translation was never probably right.
Also, it was like a part of a time where like people didn't really think about that shit because it was so fantasy. I mean,
They're
like,
if you talked about it back then, you'd probably get fucking purple nurpled and fucking.
Into that, you fucking nerd.
For real, just get fucking swirled and fucking.
I never got swirlied as a kid. I never seen anybody that got swirlied.
No. I heard
that shit was before us, dude.
Do you remember Freshman Fridays?
Oh yeah.
Did that ever happen to you?
No, because I would have beat somebody's ass.
Yeah. Maybe we weren't those kind of freshmen to do that.
No, we definitely weren't. That's for damn sure.
I mean, maybe it was fake. Freshman Friday for our school was every Fridays. The seniors would come find the freshmen and trash them or like fucking fuck with them pretty much.
I wonder if that's like even a thing, period.
It probably was, and then after like a while they just cracked down on it. Because you got to think we were growing up in the
we were growing up post PC
era. When I was in like when I was 15, 16, so probably like senior, junior, my nieces were living with me. My brother-in-law, my sister, and my nieces were living with us. That's when a lot of that, so this was like 2008, 2007, so that's when a lot of that,
This was before
everybody
2010s and area, yeah.
that's when it started becoming a thing, and then, I don't know, maybe...
Nah, honestly, I don't think the whole politically correct, and I hate to say this phrase, but social justice warriors, before that shit even existed, right? It sounds like such a fucking hardcore, what's that word I'm looking for? Conservative thing to say,
yeah.
right? Because I'm definitely a compassionate person, but at the same time, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Yeah.
People like forgot about that fucking saying, and you can't say like a mean word to somebody just jokingly anymore.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
it's really like it is really sensitive to you. You can't just.
Which brings up that Twitter thing, but we'll get to it when the time comes.
Okay, let's with the Konami thing. Hopefully, if they do ever make the Silent Hill, they'd be able to make more AAA games or double whatever they're calling. You know what I mean? Like more top of the food chain games and bring it back. Yeah. I mean, Konami's a legendary company, and I really hope they go back to focusing more on
they are
the gaming community and not apps and slot machines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that also is like a whole other fucking world
Which
to talk about.
I get it. Like you could make a slot machine like and just put it all over the world and like an app and make millions in the next few days worth. And with the gaming community, like games, you have to spend millions in order to hopefully gain millions.
Yeah, because there could be a game that costs a few million to develop, because you'll be working on it over the course of a few years, and then it finally gets released, and you hope that you see your returns. But with a fucking pachinko machine, okay, so it takes what, a few $100s to build one of those machines, maybe $500 at the most.
But if you have something like Vegas, where there's, I don't know, let's say that's 3
Bingo,
within every
dude.
Like 30 feet of each other. Just...
Yeah. So like, let's say you make 30 and it costs like $500 a piece. What is that? 3,000. My math is terrible.
Yeah.
But granted, one of those machines might make 1,000 in its first day from like a couple people just walking over and playing on it. So there's a lot of more money to be made there, and Japanese developers know it.
Yeah, that's what it's easy money. Why not go for the easy money? But at the same time, if they ever do end up making a Silent Hill game, I really hope they end up making it more for the fans and not just kind of make it just so they can try to make money. Like they actually put their love and soul into the game and not just like, oh, here's it's the title, it'll make money.
Right. So kind of like how the Call of Duty developers kind of have been
for the past 10 years.
Right. I mean, they took like a cool route trying to make the weird hero shooter that they had.
Yeah.
But other development companies have already done that so well, they should have just stuck to their roots instead of trying to dip into it.
Hopefully Konami can somehow redeem themselves. We'll see. One thing I want to bring up with the Borderlands is...
Okay, so granted, even though I'm not a major fan of Borderlands, and anybody that has been paying attention to this point knows where the fuck my interests are, you know what I'm saying? I still have so much respect for that game, that franchise, because even as a kid, I grew up playing that on a modded Xbox.
Yeah.
So I couldn't play online, but I could still play the game for free. I didn't have to buy it. And you guarantee your boy has spent over 500 hours playing Borderlands 2.
Yeah, Borderlands was a pretty good game for its time when it came out. It was really original.
And like did you hear that?
Yeah.
That sound like a cat?
It sounded like somebody out there.
I'm gonna check right after I say this. The fact is like that game has such a unique build and such a unique look on a looter shooter.
Yeah.
Because the weapons that you can get are incredibly dynamic.
It was
crazy shit can happen.
For the loot, it really expanded into the FPS where you can be like, oh, this is a legendary item, this is a basic item, this is a epic item.
Bro, you can get a gun that you can empty the clip and throw it, and it's a fucking explosive.
I didn't know that.
That's actually sick. In the newer ones, but that's how inventive that they are as developers. That I'm heartbroken that they would go down the path that someone else built.
I mean,
like, oh, there's money there. Like, no.
That's honestly how I got my girlfriend into FPS. Is Borderlands, the first one. I got it for free on my Xbox when we first started dating, and I was like, "Hey, you want to play this?" She's like, "Oh, sure." And that's how I introduced her to FPSs.
There's a fist bump that happened. No, because that shit is so respectable. Because honestly, like, it's kind of strange, but looter shooters are the best type of video game for people to get into because platforming is not so intuitive that people just hop into it and like, what direction do I go? Because they have like two different ways, but if they don't universally understand, you always have to go to the right. Then it's weird because people playing Sonic for the first time, they don't get it, you know? But with a first-person shooter, especially now, where gaming development has gone, right?
Yeah.
It's almost infinite. People can just kind of do whatever they want and go in whatever direction, shoot whatever they want, do this, do that. So it's really cool to have somebody play video games for the first time as like their introduction, and it be that exact type of game. It breaks every single rule and understanding you think you may have had, you know?
Yeah. I definitely wanted to bring this up.
Okay.
Digimon.
Yes.
Digimon. So
Digital monsters. Digimon are the champions.
Champion.
Yes.
I almost
That's
want
like
to go.
low-
I almost want to go change into digital monster.
So the thing I found out about Digimon is that in Japan there's a completely different opening, right? So me and
Japanese
we grew up
version.
listening to like the American version, and like the Digirap never existed. Which if you listen to the Digirap now, it's absolute garbage. Like it's low key fire, but then it's like, okay, that's enough, dude.
Yeah, the Digimon. I remember last time I watched it was like 23, and I watched in Japanese on Netflix.
Right. So the American version had like different variants of every episode, and sometimes there was shit spliced in because 4 kids in their terrible editing would just add shit in places where it didn't belong, and there was like different voice actors doing voices that didn't make sense to the like natural character dialogue. Like it'd be Ty showing up and be like, "Boy, I like potatoes," but it's like, dude, this is a serious moment. Like Agumon's about to die. Hold on.
Like the translation was bad or something.
Yeah,
like that.
but whatever. It was still tight as a kid.
So they're bringing back the movie, which what we were talking about is the original cast, and it's called Digimon Last Evolution. Comes out next year in February the 21st.
So you can see my ass at the nearest theater checking that shit out.
And as far as I know, it's the original cast too, from the Japanese version at least is the original cast.
Okay.
Wait,
are we talking about like original voice actors, or are we talking about the original cast as in the characters?
Voice actors and characters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Ty and Matt are probably gonna fight each other.
So the Last Evolution. So it's the last Digimon game or movie, which is pretty sick because we literally haven't had anything Digimon in America for what, like
decades.
2010 maybe since.
I remember watching season 2, where the main protagonist's name was like Davis, and it wasn't Agumon, but it was something else.
Is that when they had like the Digi-Eggs or whatever?
Mm-hmm. They had the Digi-Eggs and they had Armor Evolution.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, dude, that's the last one I remember because I didn't watch season 3. Eventually it got to a point where like the kids themselves became the Digimon. Yeah, exactly, dude. Absolute confusion face.
I wanted to also bring up the Digimon game. The Digimon, it's called Digimon That Survives, and it looks a lot like Final Fantasy Tactics with Digimon.
It definitely is. I remember like seeing clips of that because I'm waiting for that game to come out. Since it's gonna come out on Switch,
it comes out for all consoles.
I'm gonna buy it
next 2020, sometime 2020. It got delayed. It was supposed to come out in July, but it got delayed.
That's actually fair. Like honestly, what I expect in a weird way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, why haven't we got a good Digimon game in America for years?
Since PlayStation?
Yeah,
right?
Since that one. I don't understand what.
I mean, you're definitely telling me, man, because I don't know. And even then, I've seen a lot of trailers for Digimon Survive, and it's done in that weird 2D character animation where they look like 2D sprites, and And then when you rotate the camera, you can tell it's flat because the sprite rotates with you.
Gotcha. See.
That I'm not a big fan
When did you see that, though?
This was actually a while back.
Because I just looked up something where it looks a lot better, but it's still like, it's like the top-down Final Fantasy Tactics type of.
If it stays like that.
They're actually 3D modeled.
Never mind. It might be good then.
Yeah. I think that's another reason why I think it got delayed, too, is because of the movie.
Oh, okay. So you think they want to release it at the same exact time?
Either that or they just want some DLC, baby.
Shit,
they want to capitalize on that DLC, boy.
Everybody loves that hot, thick DLC.
I mean,
Jesus.
Because if you think about it, if it released in July, who's gonna play it? If it released if its release date was July, and it nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Weird summer releases aren't good. And it's just because, when a game comes out during the summer, you have, kids and shit playing it. But a winter release is actually amazing because you have a lot of people in... It's kind of conspiratorial, right? But you have a lot of people in, middle America, right? That when winter comes around, some of them can't fucking go to work because they're snowed in.
Yeah.
What else are they going to do for 3 days worth of time? Because once they have a storm, they got to wait for it to thaw. Then they can go back to work.
Yeah.
Right? So, gaming, that's the thing. Winter releases are great. You release a game during winter and hey, no one's leaving their house during winter. Nobody fucks with that shit.
Also the holidays, too.
Yeah, and holidays.
Yeah.
Holidays are fucking absolutely perfect times to release anything.
Since they're releasing all these reboots, they're doing all these reboots, and reboots have always been a thing for the past few years and everything. And they've been pretty popular to reboot. It's been a really big thing. And then with the Nickelodeon stuff on Netflix with the Broncos Model Life and
yeah, we talked about that. I actually watched Enter the Florpus or Into the Florpus?
Yeah, Enter the Florpus. What'd you think of it?
It was good, really right? Fucking good. It was 100% what I wanted from Invader Zim.
I wanted to see if was it just me or was there a few moments where you're just it's a little too much. That was weird.
Well, okay. Well, when you say this is so good. When you say weird, what do you mean? Because there was a lot of stuff that it fit perfectly. I don't think there was anything that went outside of the realm where Invader Zim shouldn't. Yeah. Especially maybe the last fight between Zim and Dib. It was really eccentric.
I think I think they kind of, and this is just me nitpicking. This is because I did love that. Okay. I love how they brought it back.
Fair.
Dib was in that fat stage for too long.
The absolute beginning. Wait, you think that was too much?
Maybe not too much, but I can't think of the exact moments. But there's times where they they do stupid jokes and it'd just be it was, I don't know. It'd be funny, but it wasn't.
That is pretty nitpicky. I would say the ham is kind of goofy.
The ham?
Yeah, you remember the ham? Pay attention to this ham, kids. It's going to be important later.
See, I don't know, maybe...
Definitely take a picture.
Yeah, I got to rewatch it because I didn't just watch it once.
But... I mean, that's fair. I only watched it once. And, mind you, I want to be totally clear. I wasn't playing Minecraft most of the time.
But you were playing Minecraft.
Yeah, I was. That's how I spent one of my days off. I was like, this is going to be tight. So I drank some coffee and fucking did that shit.
So do you think they should make it a little mini-series or just make episodes on Netflix?
Of Invader Sim?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question, man. I don't know. It's kind of hard to judge because... If you think about it now, if you want to go off of the end of Enter the Florpus, it's kind of hard. I don't want to be the spoiler.
Yeah.
But for sake of conversation, I gotta be. It's a spoiler alert. When the tallest died, right? What are you gonna do after that? Now, once Zim finally makes contact,
it's easy.
And they're gone. What the fuck are you gonna do after that?
they have had episodes where Zim or Dib or like they literally die. Like they're dead.
Right.
Like in that conclusion of the episode, like they're dead. But they always bring them back and it's just like
Like that should never happen. Like a weird Family Guy thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think what they're trying to do with, especially with the Rockers Modern Life, I think they were just Nickelodeon and Netflix were just testing the waters.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to see who they're going to attract. Like they want to attract an audience, obviously. You know what I mean? So,
right. Well, I mean, if they want to go that way, not to go too far away from, I guess, our reboot discussion, they shouldn't go back to old series. The reason why is because you have viewers like me and you, right, watching shit on Netflix, and I don't understand the market well enough to say that Netflix isn't where it's at.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't either, so I'm not gonna try to act like I do either.
Right. So the thing is, like, shit, we might be wrong. Yeah, we pay money to Netflix to fucking have a subscription, but there's probably countless parents that just pay for cable TV because they want internet, but their kids watch the TV, and they don't give them a tablet or a video game or anything. So
they just watch TV instead.
Right. It might be the fact that like they shouldn't put anything like out there for kids at that age of that type of entertainment because it's not what's cool.
I can see that.
Steven Universe is cool, and if you've seen that show, it's actually fucking garbage.
I watched the first 2 seasons when it was actually like brand new, and I thought they were pretty cool, but I stopped after that.
Oh, well, I thought regular show was okay, but I've never really watched Steven Universe because like I watched a few clips and I just didn't like it. The same with
I don't know if it's the same now, but this is when I'm pretty sure when each episode was like 15 minutes or like 20 minutes.
Oh shit!
Like they were like
fucking
little short
pilots.
Yeah, this was a long time ago. Just because,
fuck, dude.
Like I have nieces when they come over, they watch TV.
They're the prime demographic
now they're
I'm
older
talking
now,
about.
But now they're older. Now they're in
right.
Their mid-teens.
So now at this point, like they have some type of say in what they want to watch. So if they're like, yo, I don't want to watch this, I'm going to watch some nonsense on YouTube.
Well, I mean, sometimes they're literally on their phone and watching TV and reading a magazine and
so that sounds
picking
pretty...
their nose at the same time.
Like, y'all better be washing your motherfucking hands. I swear to God.
Trust me, dude.
Yeah, I'd be on one, dude. Like, so one of the cool things at work, right? Like, I've got my own fucking cubicle.
Yeah.
I also have my own fucking, I guess, like, storage department. And underneath I have a filing cabinet that I don't really file in, right? Yeah. But your boy's got his own bottle of fucking Purell. I got fucking,
some stuff to clear that fucking congestion.
What the fuck, Kleenex? And like I keep my little cubicle nice and clean, and ain't nobody touching my shit. Like I fuck with that, but whatever. Anyway, we're talking about reboots, dude.
Oh yeah. So, any shows you'd like to see make a comeback, or like any old cartoons or animes?
We were like kind of going over the script, right? You brought up reboots, and the first thing that came to mind.
Don't tell me.
What? Okay, go ahead, say.
Reboot? No. That's what I wrote down was reboot. You gotta reboot, bro.
I gotta hold on, dude.
You gotta reboot, dude.
You are absolutely fucking right, Ben. That isn't the first thing that came to mind, but like I respect that decision so fucking much.
But which one were you gonna say? We'll come back to that.
Hold on, dude. I gotta shake that off. Holy shit. Alright. Whew. So the reason why I'm so hyped about Reboot, so me and my brother actually watched that as like kids.
Same here.
And it was the very first time I ever saw
CGI has an anime.
Thanks, dude.
No problem.
I
do the same thing all the time. Don't even worry.
That's how much it fried my brain because I got that excited for it. But that was the first time I ever seen anything like that, and it absolutely blew my mind. And I thought it was so fucking cool.
So did I.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you there. If we can get something like that, but like more modern.
I'll never forget how like the the main character, because it was like season one, like a few seasons, and then the second season where the main character died, and then the little brother, or like the little son or whatever.
Didn't he end up getting married? And then like he
had
came
like an
back.
eye patch, and
yeah,
like
and
a
he was
hook for
like,
a hand and shit. He just had a fucked up life, and I remember I always hated it, but I loved it. And then like now that I'm all grown up and shit, and thinking back, I'm like, damn, that's hella true. You just love little kid growing up, and then now all of a sudden fucking shit hits the fan, and it's real.
That's fucking life, dude. So I definitely agree with you there. But what I was going to say is the most. This is for like everybody listening, right? The most original isekai.
What's that?
Isekai means alternate universe in Japanese. Okay. But everyone that knows the word isekai, they think Sword Art Online, right? Where the main protagonist is in a video game.
Gotcha.
Dot Hack Sign, or the Dot Hack franchise,
was based off what you're talking about?
It was the first one to do it.
Oh, wait, Dot Hack, or the one you're talking about?
Well, Isekai is the genre. Is it the genre, right?
Okay.
Yes, that's the genre, however you say it.
Yeah, genre.
Genre,
whatever.
Right.
Tomato.
But that was the first one to ever do a protagonist stuck in a video game world.
Gotcha.
And they did it so well at like that time that it's so underplayed, but it's kind of like Pulp Fiction. Yeah. You know, you think you like Tarantino, but do you actually know what he has done? You know? So I would like to see Dot Hack Sign done, but even then they could go back to like Dot Hack roots, just Dot Hack in general, because just that franchise is crazy. Because when you understand like what's going on in that story,
that'd be sick.
Yeah, you know that like it's literally an infinite loop.
You know, it's funny. You know? It'd be perfect for today because we got VR and everything, and let's just say they base it off like 5-10 years from now when we actually are maybe on the cusp, or
we're
even
really
maybe on that level
close
of like just sitting on the computer, maybe even standing up and you're just like,
dude, if Elon Musk said fuck it and I'm gonna spend my money on it, yeah, we'd be there already.
I wanted to bring up, have you ever heard of SWAT Cats?
Yes.
For Cartoon Network.
Okay, so you're talking about skinny cat, big fat cat, and they flew around in a goddamn fighter jet.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. I used to love that show. I loved it so much. I remember watching it all the time when I was little.
So if that came back in the same way Invader Zim did, yeah, I'd watch that shit.
I wanted to say that show, I Am Weasel. I Am Weasel. I Am Weasel.
IR Baboon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even, alright, that's kind of weird because that was Cow and Chicken, dude.
Yeah, but what about this one? Two Stupid Dogs. You never seen that one? Two Stupid Dogs. Two Stupid Dogs.
Yeah.
Two Stupid Dogs.
Yeah, dude. So like, I would watch that shit because that's on like the same par as like Secret Agent Squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I would fuck heavy with that, but that's like old school Cartoon Network.
I would love to see that come back.
If they went back to that type of style, that'd be sick.
Like Secret Squirrel would be so much better. Like all the.
If Secret Squirrel was more adult.
Secret Squirrel is like what, like an 80s cartoon, and
yeah,
I think they tried to do that with Harvey Birdman though.
Well, I think like Secret Agent Squirrel was trying to be James Bond-esque.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what I mean? Like with Harvey Birdman, they had to try to make that fucking all those Boomerang and fucking those old school cartoons more adult.
Right. I mean, that would be cool because Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, was really fucking sick.
Hell yeah,
I mean,
dude.
It's super funny because the guy with the eye patch.
Oh yeah.
Come back at 11, and then he just leaves.
Do you remember we watched it? This was a long ass time ago. It was this is when my room was first built.
Yo, that was a really long time.
And we were watching it. The Harvey Birdman was supposed to be that dude's origin story, and like everything he was doing was like straight up in his eye. He was like welding something, and it was like the fire was going straight in his eyeball, but
it never blinded him. He was just like, yeah, dude.
Super outrageous and stupid, but it fucking was. It was like, and then that was Conan O'Brien, right?
And then I learned how to sharpen spears.
Wasn't
really a good idea because I lost half my cornea.
I'm pretty sure that was Conan O'Brien. Not Conan O'Brien.
Colbert.
Colbert, yeah.
Stephen Colbert. Yeah, he's the voice actor for that dude. That's also probably the reason why.
Yeah.
That's also the reason why that probably couldn't come back. Because
Yeah.
like Comedy Central probably paid him so much fucking money to do the Colbert Report,
Oh yeah, dude.
which they never pronounced the T, and that always pissed me off.
Speaking of Netflix and all these shows, I just want to bring this up. The Witcher, they're making a Netflix show. The guy who played Superman, the last Superman, is going to be the guy who plays The Witcher. Just a fun fact.
I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of that, but that's okay.
Did you see the new Dave Chappelle stand-up?
Yeah, hell yeah, I did, dude. You know I watched that shit.
That shit was so funny, dude. I loved it.
And then Twitter almost destroyed that man's life. Or tried to, but
I
you ain't ever going to destroy Dave
Chappelle, dude.
Yeah,
no. That fool.
There's countless people that'd be like, you are terribly wrong. But
yeah.
That's okay, you feel like that.
You can't kill that fool's career. I just want to bring up a couple more things. You see the... I'll bring this up next time, but I just want to talk about the Wu-Tang show. It's finally streaming on Netflix.
Really?
Or not Netflix, sorry.
Hulu?
Hulu. So
no, I know
I'm
about
to check
that.
it out when I get a chance. So hopefully next time
we gotta talk.
I'll bring it up.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
This is what I really want to bring up. It's a Netflix anime original. It's called Be the Beginning. You heard about that one? You seen it? That one was sick, dude. That one was a pretty sick anime. It was only like 7 episodes, 6 episodes, 30 minutes long. That's like what, like 4 hours of that. So it just got confirmed for a season 2. So look out for that. I know that's how I thought too. That's why I want to bring it up. And
it's really good.
Yeah, it really is. I'll rewatch it and then we'll talk about it.
Rewatch it, but
you ever heard of 7 Seeds?
7 Sins?
Seeds.
7 wait a second.
7. It's a Netflix original anime also.
Isn't that the one where
I'm not too sure, honest.
I think I have seen it.
What do you feel about Netflix originals, like with animes in general? Because they have pumped out a few in the past few years.
They are few and far in between. Yeah.
Huge variety.
There's a huge variety, but the thing is they're trying to like dip their hands in a lot of different stuff. And entertainment is like so weird because they're broadcasting to a huge array.
I feel like they have like that power or enough money to just be like a huge pond filled with fucking like it's like a game. They just throw a bunch of quarters into a pond, whatever hole it falls into, they could fucking be like, okay, we bring this one back. You know what I mean?
That's 100% what it is.
Like you get all these pitches, and then they throw a bunch of quarters, and then whatever quarters falls into, they bring it in, and then whatever the fucking dollar fucking falls into, they're like, yep.
That's why their anime selection is so bad.
Yeah.
Because
Hulu's not that great either.
I would say Hulu's anime selection is far better than Netflix.
They have a lot more originals. When I mean originals, not like Netflix originals or like their own originals. They have more like old school, like they have more variety, I should say. Not
because I watched all of Yu Yu Hakusho on Hulu.
They have Dragon Ball. They have Dragon Ball GT. They have a lot.
Oh, I thought you were going to start naming out bangers. I was about to just lay it down.
For some reason, they don't have Z, but that's probably licensed.
Dragon Ball Z is what they should have.
They have GT and Ball. All of Ball.
Even then, Dragon Ball itself is so good.
Yeah, it is.
Like, 100% respect that.
I want to bring this up. What do you think about It? You ever seen it? You ever seen It?
Oh, buddy. I'm actually glad you brought that up. For like a couple of reasons. One, I don't like It. Not because like I'm not a fan of like horror movies. Yeah, I fuck heavy with the very gruesome, gory nonsense. So especially psychological anything, I absolutely fuck with. But I've never been a fan of horror movies and all of that stuff. So when I see It thrown on the table, I think it's just absolute trash.
Yeah.
Just for the pure fact, it has nothing to do with the fact it's a clown.
Gotcha.
It just has everything to do with the fact it's a stupid horror movie. Like, if anything, that's virtually a comedy to somebody like me, right? But throwing my personal criticisms aside, all right, it's cool, dude. There's a lot of people that are really hyped about it, and I think that's a good thing.
You know, you just sound like him, right?
What?
A hipster.
Wait. Oh man, dude, I'm bummed out a little bit, but that's totally fair. I don't know, man. It's like a 50-50 thing. Like, I think it's kind of cool because everyone deserves to watch something they want to watch.
You should. So you know anything about the storyline with it, or
not really?
So I was gonna go on the whole backstory with it and everything, but I would just say just do some research, do a little research, maybe watch the first one.
I got a lot of time tomorrow. Shit, I could.
just you know what I mean. Just look up some like it backstory. Watch like a 15-20 minute video about it if you want. I'm not gonna be like you have to watch that in order to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're not, if it doesn't interest you, obviously it doesn't interest you. But I would definitely give it some thought. You see the Joker thing? That Joker trailer, the last one?
No.
So you don't know anything about the new Joker with Joaquin Phoenix?
Nah, dude, fill me in.
Oof. So this one is really, you love it or hate it, because I really want to see it, and I really want to see how this whole with the Joker. Will and Josh didn't like it, but I also talked to other people who were like big comic book fans who weren't interested in this either. And I think because it's more of a personal origin story, and it probably is not going to have to do with a lot of the original DC story of how Joker is, you know? It's more of our reality of Joker, like somebody who's in the 70s who has a mental problem, and society just fucking snaps him to just become this criminal mastermind.
Fuck.
So to me, it seems like more realism or more realistic view of how Joker would be in our society. I guess in the 70s too. So it's just, I don't know. It's something
walking around fucking dosing people with random LSD.
Yeah. Something crazy like that. Like he puts on the clown mask and then he looks at people who have like the clown mask on, like the iconic green, white, and the red lips. And then he's like looking at somebody driving by and he's like all smiling at them and he's just like, I know, this is a shit weed too, I remember.
Yeah, that's garbage.
I do really want to talk about some crazy ass work stories though. I know you've had a few jobs.
Shit, your boy ain't ever went to no college. I started working as soon as I can.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a difficult one to like dial down because you've got a lot of different jobs I've done personally that I don't know where to start. Like, we can basically record a whole ass podcast over terrible jobs and just call that a side episode.
So I guess I'll give you like a start for an example. So this is something I dealt with when I first started because I was 19. I was doing customer service. I had to do training, and the training, my schedule was completely different from the training. I had to be there at 8 o'clock. So for me, as a 19-year-old, just getting a job, 8 o'clock, not going to school for like a year out of high school, that was pretty fucking early. And I remember getting there and calling, she showed me how to work the phones and do all that stuff. And I remember calling the first number, and it was literally the first number. And they're like, hello? It's like, hello, my name is Ben. I see you've called and made some quotas or some bullshit like that. So I was pretty much calling to see, it was callbacks.
Right. Dude.
So it was just getting quotas and everything. Like I was doing pretty much right now. I was fucking up and doing horrible. It's for the intro for the guy. And literally, he stopped me and he was like, okay, you need to stop right there. You need to fucking shut the fuck up. Stop smoking so much fucking weed. And fucking get a better job. And I was like, and he hung up and I was like, oh. And I'll never forget, dude. That was my first experience with customer service, and I hated it.
I've never had a call that has gone that bad. I've had
that was my first time though, and I was 19.
Fuck, dude.
And if you think I had a hard time explaining that story now, imagine me at 19.
Fuck. Very good point. Very good point. So, very first job, Oshkosh, Begosh. Baby gap, bro.
Really?
Second job.
I don't remember
was because this was when we were 19. That was my first job. It was part time. There's nothing good to say there because that one was such a short, shitty ass work experience. Like, there's no reason to talk about that one.
Yeah.
I think that it would be the best place to fucking talk, right? So.
Wait, which place?
At the gas station. So Vox Pro is like pretty good, but that's still relatively new. I gotta let a lot of that work experience fucking wash off and go to the fucking underground.
Yeah.
But with the gas station, there's so many fucking weird stories to tell about that.
Okay, if you work at a gas station, you're gonna get some fucking random ass people there, dude.
Especially working graveyard, dude. You get probably the best part of being awake at 3 a.m. or the worst.
Crackheads, dude. Josh told me some crazy ass stories too when he worked at he worked at a gas station in El Dorado Hills. You wanna know how this fool got out there, bro? He lived over in near the Mather Skate Park, and this fool would bike to El Dorado Hills.
He'd have to catch a train.
No.
You're talking about hours of riding, damn near about 2 hours of riding.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick a very specific story to talk about, though.
I got one where it was very uncomfortable for me, and
other than that customer service job.
Yeah, so that customer service job, that was like my first job experience, and that was almost 10 years ago. So of course I don't really remember it, and I guess when I think about it, I get PTSD because I couldn't. I couldn't talk. It still to this day haunts me so bad.
Honestly, I would say call centers or working on the phone is actually the most difficult because you're so self-aware about the words you say.
Yeah.
It
was actually
really
after
changes you.
After that, it got pretty easy, especially once I got to know my coworkers.
Yeah.
I remember there was this one dude who was like super religious, and I don't know what the hell he was saying, but I just was like, oh, my dad's super religious, and I know some, like, growing up, I was pretty religious. My family was religious, so I just took advantage of that, and he ended up just buying with us, and I was like, cool. Helped him out, and then he was like, cool, I'm going to make an appointment to pick up another one, and I was like, all right.
Makes you wonder what the fuck he was buying when you needed him.
The weirdest one, though, it wasn't all the time, it was just that he called that one time and he was going to get another one. But the weirdest one I got is where this guy wanted to rent a y'all and transport a horse. I was like, I don't think we'd do that, sir. I mean, he could have probably rented the
depending on like how he's going to carry it.
There's a motorcycle one where it's like a tailgate one.
Yeah.
The little gate in the back, like a little fenced off. Maybe that would have worked. I don't know. So I had this one time when I was working at it, and when I worked, I was in the back, like in the warehouse or in the backpack, like with the logistics and all that stuff. And
it's an important job, dude.
And I worked night shift, so pretty much I worked from 2 to 10:45, so 15 minutes before they closed. And this one chick, I remember right before I got off, really wanted dog food, but she wanted that pure raw dog food, you know what I mean? Where they have, you know what I'm talking about?
Actual meat chunks in it?
Yeah.
Word.
And apparently she didn't have her kind.
Okay.
And
she probably was like, hey, man, can you go to the back?
She was hounding me, bro. She was like, I need this for my dog. Like, she was like, I need it tonight. It was just like this is tall, like, Armenian-looking fucking broad. I was like, kept on walking away, and she was like, "Can you ask somebody? Can you please ask me, like, radio somebody?" And I was like, "I don't know how to use my radio. Like, I don't know what to do." So I made.
Wait, did they ever train you on using the radio?
They did, because this was like my second week, dude. And this lady,
you weren't done with training, and your trainer walked away and was just like,
"Dude, this is how be fine." I'll cut out. This is how bad they were, bro. Like they literally. I never got trained for anything.
They put a shirt on you and were like, alright, bro.
Yeah. And then I got one day of training, and it was just like, follow this guy, and then do what he does. With this chick, she kept on hounding me, bro, and I was just like, okay. I made up some bullshit, and because we had to take off some pallets from the truck. The first thing that came to my mind, I was like, "Oh, there's someone on the truck. We can't get it to you." And she was like, "They're on the truck? What?" And I was like, "Yeah, they're on the truck. We're not allowed to give it to you." And she was like, "What?" And I just walked away, and I was like, "Yeah, sorry." And then literally like 2 or 3 people, because I had to keep on going back and forth from like where I was doing. I was pretty much picking up items from the floor and bringing it back to deliver for the next day.
Restocking, basically.
Right? Not restocking. It was for delivery. It was package and delivery.
Okay.
So I was pretty much like, that's where the trucks were there, so I could put the trucks that I'm packaging up, put it on the pallets, then throw it on the truck.
Right.
But the first thing I thought of was like, oh, it's on the truck. You're not allowed to get it. And then like 4 or 5 people ended up being like, this girl is asking for food, for dog food, and they're saying it's on the truck. I don't know what that means. And I was like, I don't know. And then finally I was just like, yeah, she was bugging me, and I was just like,
no. Like, I just made up some shit.
Yeah.
It was a mistake. My bad.
I was like, I'm about to be off in like 2 minutes.
Yo, I respect that to a degree. He was like, nah, man, like, I'm just gonna give you some answer and I'm gonna go home. Like, I'm sorry.
Because like I said,
this shit is whack.
Anything, you got any stories that you could...
So, alright. I think like the best awkward or terrible story, I don't want to talk about the original Box Pro shit.
Gotcha.
We'll say that for a later day. It's really good. Yeah. No, you can actually leave that in, because anybody like listening and watching, keeping up, they'll hear that name Box Pro again and like wait for those fucking stories, because those ones are so fresh, right? Yeah. I think the fucking craziest thing that I've ever seen, that I won't talk about, that one's pretty fucking rough. More along the line, we'll talk about Crazy Dave. Crazy Dave is the craziest fucking stories that I've ever heard in my fucking life, or the things I've ever seen in my life, right?
Yeah.
This fucking guy is Chinese. On top of being Chinese, he's very into German culture. Whoa. So he is okay with Nazi shit.
Whoa, that's not German culture. I mean, that's German history. That's not culture.
I mean, that's fair enough. Don't quote me on that. But culture, history, fucking slavery, something, my man. We got to deal with it now. Regardless, right? So I think like just that person in general, the fact that I had to stay around Crazy Dave so much, and my personality adapt to his or adapt, right? Bear in mind about the Nazi thing, being Chinese and like really Nazi. He also was like a cross-dresser that may or may not have done very volatile narcotics.
Gotcha. So this, yeah.
You can't write this motherfucker in a goddamn comic book. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you can't make this shit up. This dude actually exists, and if you ever meet him, it kind of changes your perspective on humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one of the weirdest fucking things he's ever did that I expected, but at the same time was like, only this motherfucker would do this shit. So this is about 3 a.m. to about 4 a.m. because I'm actually like refilling the cooler, which is that giant refrigerator in the back, right?
Yeah.
So I'm fucking throwing soda cans, beer bottles, fucking Pepsi bottles, milk cartons all around this shit. Just gay.
Nice.
And again, yeah, it's super fucking early in the morning. Like everybody's asleep, no one's working, and the only people that are actually awake are about to go to work. No one should be awakened at the street this hour.
Yeah, definitely.
All the bars have closed. Everybody's either passed out at the bar or passing out in the Uber. They're home already. You know what I'm saying? One motherfucker on the planet is going to be alive, and it's that fucking guy. So this dude, again, working in the cooler. Set the environment. Working in the cooler, putting stuff up, really quiet. I don't expect to see anybody going to work. Don't have any coffee made. I haven't done shit around the store besides just straight put cartons down. I hear this bang on the fucking door. I look outside and it's the short Chinese cross-dressed motherfucker high on it.
Whoa, what the
just
fuck?
fucking just making this
No.
Right. I can't animate it enough for people listening to understand.
I mean, I know,
you see me,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So it fucking scared me enough till I thought something was wrong. And then I looked out and my eyes actually processed, no, that's just Crazy Dave being him.
That's just Dave.
I was like, huh.
This is Dave.
All right. So I fucking open the door and then he just comes and he's like, what's up, fucker? Like,
whoa.
Yeah, and this is somebody I worked with. Like, HR would be there in a second, like, hold on, fire this man. But he's a really good judge of character.
Job.
Yeah. So this fucking idiot, he passes out in the fucking office and shit for several hours, and then wakes up ready to work, but he's not even on the clock. I'm like, dude, fucking stop, go away. What the fuck you doing? You're still cross-dressed for once. You want to have decent clothes on. Yeah, dude, you're fucking high out of your goddamn mind.
It's like Woody Harrelson in the Anger Management, where he's like, I feel like dancing, and he puts his fucking leg up in the air. Cameron's like, oh, jeez. Why?
Yeah, I mean, being exposed to some nonsense like that when you're in between 20 to 24, when you're like really maturing about the world around you.
Yeah. Especially around the time we did. When we were maturing, that's when like a bunch of like all that trends and all that, like with all the stuff that we were going up, it was like, oh, that's bullshit, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden we got to be like, what? That's okay now? Like, that shit.
I mean, I guess, dude. Honestly, yeah, because at that time where people were thinking like, hey, maybe you shouldn't fuck with those people. Like, I was being exposed to shit like that constantly, and I was like, oh, they're decent people. Fuck it, dude. It got nothing to do with me. I'm out.
Yeah. I don't know. Might be a good. Maybe I'll cut that out just to.
Man, these people know what the fuck we do, dude.
Leave it off on a light note. Don't forget to check out Cameron's stream. What was it?
Oh yeah, dude. Fucking catch me at Twitch, Apollo Pie.
Apollo Pie.
I. Not like, you know, bakery, more like that. Oh, pie. Anybody that hears that knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
So there you go, Apollo P-A-I.
Yeah, dude.
There you go.
That's your boy
at
out
Twitch.
Here.
Check it out. Like he said, he'll be streaming around 6 o'clock.
Dude, 6 o'clock p.m. to probably like 11, because your boy got a 9 to 5, unless, you know, that shit changes, but highly doubtful.
Gotcha. So yeah, check it out. Also check out our channel. You know, check out, we got some gameplay. I just finished the Destroy All Humans. By the time this comes up, I'll have all the episodes uploaded.
Bear in mind, the alien's voice is actually voiced over by the same guy that did Invader Zim.
Exactly. Yup.
That's why that shit is fire.
Also, I'll be playing some Resident Evil 4. I'm going to start streaming it and uploading it. Hopefully, this full camera can come over and have some episodes with me. But
you know,
check
your
that
boy's
out.
100% down for New Game Plus runs.
Check that out. Fucking guys, have a good one.
Peace.
Shnerd.